All right, we are live. Just finish this setup here. If you are hearing my voice, drop a note in the comments. I know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. I'm just checking settings on my phone in a second. So we are streaming live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so we are all set up. Excellent. Great. Super excited for today's Tuesday Teardown. Um, and we're going to be doing a couple of B2B companies who some of them I've used in the past. For sure, I've say used one I've used, and two I've been part of a company that could have used their services. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting in terms of what we're going to be offering and showing you today. My name is Gavi. I am the founder and master copywriter at FireCopy.co, which is a subscription-based agency to help you get continuous awesome copy for all basically everything that's going to drive revenue in your business. So emails, ad copy, and landing pages. I personally manage more than $10 million in paid ad spend, profitable paid ad spend myself, which you're going to see uh, generated and drove millions more using email, both for existing customers as well as for lead generation, customer lead generation. I'm super excited to jump into things today. And one thing I'll mention, because someone had mentioned this to me or asked me this question, I do a lot of stuff on paid ads on this show, but these principles are something that apply to all of marketing. It applies to emails. It applies to even offline, because the point is really the most important point is to understand what are the marketing principles in place, right? So paid ads are just a distribution channel that somebody can use to be able to get their message out to someone. And the reason why paid ads particularly are so important is because you're paying for every impression, right? So you're paying for impression, you're paying for clicks, and therefore if you haven't optimized your campaign really, really well, you're going to wind up just giving a lot of money to Facebook and LinkedIn, which is why it's so important to make sure you have a very consistent flow and kind of make sure you have in place the principles that I talk about on this show, on this episode. Hopefully, you're going to get a lot of value out of this. One of my previous attendees said that he got more value in the 30 minutes on the Tuesday Teardown than he got from his entire 4-year marketing degree. So I'm very excited to jump into this. So let me just share my screen and let's do this. So the three companies we're going to be jumping into today, give me 1 second. The three companies that we're going to be doing today, one is Deel, which is a global payroll company. The other one is Typeform. Most marketers are familiar with Typeform. Typeform is a survey tool. They actually have a really cool campaign they're running. I want to share with you guys. And the third one is going to be Gusto, which is also a payroll company. And it's got some interesting things that we can cover for those particular brands. So let's jump into this here. Before I actually jump into the campaigns, I want to kind of show this screen to you. This is something I did this presentation like 4 years ago. But basically what it does is it breaks down something called the 5 levels of market sophistication. And you know the idea of a funnel, right? You have 3 stages of your funnel. You have awareness, engagement, and conversion. And the thing to understand is that these 5 levels apply to all three of those levels, right? So just to kind of quickly go through them, depending on where the prospect is at, they have low awareness of your product, right? Your goal is to educate them on the product benefits. What problem does your product solve? They have high awareness of the product or the product category. Maybe you're a competitor in an ocean of other people like your product. You want to focus on maximizing why your product is better, right? How does your product solve the problem better, right? Again, as markets evolve, this is where things go. And then once kind of all the standard product features are essentially the same, you want to focus on, or they may understand globally why or what this product does. Again, we're going to talk about, let's say, HR software. It's a very high level thing, but if you have something that's very specifically focused on international payroll, it's a very specific feature you can focus on. So if you focus on that specific feature, all of a sudden it kind of moves the market towards towards you, the people who are suffering from that particular issue. And then the same thing, again, high brand awareness. The goal is you want to lay out how does it work, then how does it work better, and then you want to get to brand identification. This is actually just in terms of the general funnel aspect. This is really important to understand when you get to the conversion base, if you're doing retargeting and email marketing and stuff like that, is to understand that people understand the brand particularly, and you have to basically make the decision. Do they know enough about this product that I just need to make a brand type of pitch to them, or do I need to continue doing product education to them, let them know about what's unique about my product? So this is, again, I call this my $1 billion slides, because I actually was personally involved with the company. If they understood this slide, they would have saved not even $1 billion, they would have saved $12 billion. I wish that was a joke, but it's not. So this is a really good kind of understanding as we jump into the rest of this. So let's jump into first. Let's do Gusto. Where were Gusto's ads? These are Typeforms. Hold on. Where's Gusto's ads? Here we go. So this is Gusto. Fine. So what Gusto does is they're a payroll company. I think they actually do something similar to Deel. They're dealing with international contractors. I think they deal with just payments. Well, let's actually see for a second. There's a lot of issues that happen in this area, both in terms of the actual technical processes needed for payments, but also making sure you're in compliance in different jurisdictions, depending on where contractors are located all over the world. So let's go back. Let's see, their most active running ads are this one. Okay, unlimited payroll runs. Get Gusto today. Unlimited payroll runs. I'm not sure what that means. Unlimited payroll runs. I mean, like, payroll something that you do every month, like, like, and like, you're going to limit the times I can do payroll. It's kind of a bit of a weird headline. Pay your team weekly or use different pay schedules. You can run infinite payrolls at no extra cost. God, I understand that. What they're trying to say is that if we have different groups of employees or contractors that are on different pay schedules, you can set it up so that you can run those schedules for them. Now, the first objection that kind of comes to my mind right off the bat here is well, is it complicated? Is it hard to do, right? So let's actually take a look at this ad here. I've not seen this ad. Just for full transparency. Now, they have a video that's attached to it, assuming that that's actually showing the product. Now, I will say this. I think that this text actually does a good job of hooking in a specific issue that they're trying to solve with their product. So the question is, does the video help solve this issue? Now, remember my rule of videos. My rule of videos is that I need to be able to communicate something of value, some type of a hook, within the first 3 seconds without any sound. That's how people behave on their phones when they're seeing these ads. Let's see this here. Okay, run. This is tiny. Hold on, let's make this bigger. Here, run payroll as many times as you need. There's no. Okay, this is okay. Fine. There's no sound, but this is good. They do have the text, which does grab you in. Now they're actually kind of showing you how it works on their app. Okay, they're introducing the brand, right? Run payroll as many times as you. That's it. That's the whole video. Wait, doesn't actually show me what they're gonna do. It's a branding video. Come on, guys. Okay, I have a rule when it comes to branding, particularly for this appears to be a very much of a top of funnel type of ad. They're dealing with a very specific problem. Great hook, I think, to get a top of the funnel prospect through your thing. But then, like, the ad kind of falls apart. Like, oh, Gusto. Like, what the heck does that mean? Like, show me what you're gonna do. Remember what I said on this page. Okay, people, what problem does it solve? How does it do it better? How does it work? This is actually true. Honestly, just if you go through this process here, this is how you can build a whole sales funnel to begin with. Just answering these questions for your product. Even from an ad and email standpoint, it's exactly what can happen. So yeah, this ad kind of falls apart. I don't like the headline. I think the headline can be, let's see, what would be a better headline for this? Run unlimited payrolls as many times as you need each month. Right, something like that, right? Like that's much clearer in terms of what they're trying to communicate, and then the ad just kind of falls apart here. Now, if we go to the Learn More section, let's see what their landing page looks like. I actually did like their landing page. Let's see if this is the same one. Yeah, this is actually a pretty decent landing page. I'll tell you, let's kind of walk through this here. See how easy payroll and benefits can be. A successful business starts with a successful team. Build an incredible workplace and grow your business with Gusto's all-in-one platform. Okay, hold on a second. So now we're moving to an all-in-one type of platform after you've hooked me in with a specific thing, but I don't see any mention here of this point here that you hooked me in on, right? Full service payroll, hiring and onboarding, talent management, employee benefits. It's like, okay, so here's the issue. You're hooking me in. This is actually a great hook. And again, this is the challenge a lot of people can have, is like they want to kind of hook in with a really small kind of pain point, and then they want to kind of go to a really a big landing page that then they lose the messaging, right? So they lose the messaging. So I think that this is a kind of a real. Again, this is good copy, but they kind of lost it on the headline. They don't really do a great job with the ad. I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 10 for this ad. Let's just see if they have any more ads that might be a little better. Your HR toolbox has got bigger. Okay, branding line. Okay, that means nothing. Okay, go build an even stronger team. How? How am I going to build a stronger team? Because I have an app on my phone now. Like give me specifics about how I'm going to be able to build a stronger team. Right? Listen, I don't know. Okay, I'm making this up on the fly. Hopefully, somebody who works in the industry is going to be able to understand what the details are more. But basically, tell me something along the lines of like HR managers spend about 15% of their time just managing benefits for their employees. What if you could automate the entire process and save and take back 15% of your time each month? Right? That's a much stronger hook because again, you're talking to an HR manager with this ad here. There's a lot more you can do here. Okay, why switch to Gusto? Because survey customers report saving time and energy. Okay. I don't like this. The opening question is it's a good lead, but then it's like because survey customers report saving time and energy with Gusto. Give me more specifics or give me a person. Is this a person? Hold on. Does this ad actually have does this ad have a person attached to it? I see a person. Um there's like a made up doll person here. Oh, here's the number. Want to switch to easier payroll? 88% of customers say Gusto is easier to use than the previous software. So I would love to see a picture of an actual customer here. I would love to see a picture of an actual customer here, meaning like, hey, this is Mindy. She's the HR manager for this company, right? That would do a lot. I think be much stronger in terms of a creative standpoint for this ad. Again, I feel there's a lot of just missed opportunities here that Gusto has in terms of not just hooking people in on the ads. They do some good stuff. There are some good things they do here. I like this point. They're very specific in what the problem is they're solving here. Right, this is very good. But then it goes to a landing page that's just kind of all over the place, right? You're not really being specific about the thing you mentioned in the ad. Now, that being said, I do like this part. I like the part here where they actually kind of do a little bit of a questionnaire without giving the contact information. Because this sometimes can turn people off. They're like, I'm not ready to be contacted yet, but I'll fill out a quiz. This sounds cool, right? How many employees do you have, including 3 to 9? Do you currently run payroll? We use another online payroll software. How would you describe your business setting? We work in office or remotely. Submit. And then, create Gusto, trusted by more. This is actually a pretty good flow. I like the flow on their sign up form where they're actually doing a little bit of a quiz. And then this is where they have all the social proof over here. Then just to get you to open up a free account. I would mention somewhere here that you can open up a free account. I would mention just free. I believe that's free. I'm not going to sign up myself because I'm not really a customer for their product. But that's kind of really the way I would see this funnel and this flow going. So for Gusto, decent job on some of the ads with good hooks, but the headlines fall flat, the creatives fall flat, and the product based part of the landing page falls flat. Although the actual sign up area is pretty good. So I'm gonna give them overall a 4 out of 10 for their campaign over here. All right, so that's Gusto. Now let's dive into Typeform. Let me just find Typeforms here. So this is Typeform. So Typeform, just to be clear, this is a product I have used. I love Typeform. Great product. They did a bunch of really, really cool things on their ads and their landing pages. Actually incorporated the product pretty nicely into their campaign. So let's kind of go through this here, and I'll show you. What they're doing here. Look at this ad right here. Let's see ad details. Okay, no coding, no problem. Typeform makes it easier than ever to create beautiful, responsive forms. Okay, typing. Okay, Typeform. I guess that means not code. I guess that supports the message. Okay, this is a decent ad. It's just getting a very simple idea across, which is that you want to create a beautiful, responsive form with no coding. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the landing page for a second. Forms that break the norm. This is actually the same landing page they had throughout. I wanted their lead gen form because their lead gen form is pretty good as well. That was definitely target, I think at new users, not like existing customers. But forms that break the norm, get more data. Okay, I don't like this just because I don't like branding in the headlines when you're doing a paid ads funnel. Right? I want you. Someone needs to land on this page and know exactly what you're going to do for them. right? I guess you're kind of saying that there's forms, there's something different about them, but I would continue this messaging that they have over here, right? No coding, no problem, right? No code forms that you can easily put onto any website, app, or a video. I don't know, something like that, right? Like something very simple, giving an actual use case that's related to their product here. Get more data with forms designed to be refreshingly different. Okay, this is also good. They're being clear on what you can actually do with their product. Now, this is the thing that I did like, because their form, oh, they go into more detail down here. I see, but what they did here in terms of just the above the fold area, they have just a sign up area, and then they have the form here, right? Have you ever this is different? It stands out. They're using their product in their funnel, which I think is pretty cool. Have you ever seen a form that looks like this? So you can start. And then they talk about how awesome their forms are. You can get access to a bunch of stuff in their library to make videos and images to incorporate into your form. Oh, they want me to answer. Yes, I like video. And you can include all these other things. More things you can do with the form. It's just not just pretty good. And the idea is like you have a sign up form right here the whole time, right? So this is actually a pretty effective funnel because again, this part's engaging. I don't know what this looks like on mobile. It's good. It'd be an interesting question, but overall, this is a very nicely done. You also take payments thanks to our Stripe integration. It's actually like a sales letter almost, but it's a much more engaging format. Very nice. Simple, super easy to share. The only downside I would say is that this line. I mean, I understand they're trying to do one page for a lot of different issues, but like they're doing a whole ad around no coding. That this should be, I think, much higher up, even mentioned in the headline somewhere, just so that people can make that connection when they land here about why they're here to begin with. If someone's here because they want to be able to, they don't want to spend time or money on a developer to get it integrated into their site. This is an easy way to be able to communicate that. Okay, so we need to share embed your form, submit. Okay, if I do submit, okay, this is, and by the way, they just did from a SaaS perspective. They just gave me a demo. I think it's brilliant. I think this is an absolutely brilliant funnel because they're demonstrating their product. The only thing I would say, and I can't, again, they're in their case, like they're not enterprise. They actually have a free option I think you can sign up with. So like they're just leading people into a free thing, and I'm sure they have a whole funnel afterwards to upgrade people to the paid version. But in terms of just kind of a straightforward campaign, they do break the rule a little bit where they don't tie the message of the ad to the landing page. Let's just see kind of what some of the other ads are they have. Have you tried Typeform yet? See why people love making form surveys, quizzes with us. Let's just take a look at this one. This one they're trying to use some social proof. Most user-friendly and aesthetic-looking form, right? So they're using a G2. I noticed they don't have any headlines in their thing. Oh, here. So this is good. What customers think? So they actually are doing some unique landing pages here. Build awesome forms and surveys with Typeform. This is actually a very good retargeting ad, right? People come to your site who are looking for some more social proof. This would be very good for them. They come to this thing. Hi, I'm Typeform. Try me out. Well, hold on. So now we're not going to talk about testimonials. That's interesting. They don't actually do any testimonials. I want to do lead generation. Interesting. They made a whole big deal about testimonials, and then they don't actually show you testimonials. Oh, down here they do. Beard brand. Okay. Oh, fine. A couple of things I would do a little differently on that particular campaign. Like here, they have this one. Oh, they have Rand up here. Very good. A couple of different things I would do a little bit differently on this campaign. Just again, because you're doing an ad that's kind of social proof based, I would have a social proof landing page that you would send those to, and then you can kind of make a bunch of different ads around social proof. Another one you can do around no coding. Another one you can do about get more work done faster with forms that fit your workflow. Marketers love Typeform. They had a lead generation one, right? So which they do. They do have a specific one for lead generation. They kind of demonstrate how you can do leads or lead qualification using their form, which is very cool. Overall, they do a pretty good job. I'm going to knock them for the points I'll take off for them is that they don't really have a headline here, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I think they do a great job in terms of simple graphics, simple creatives, and then their texts are very simple with simple ideas that you can do. The ads actually, honestly, are I would say 9 out of 10. I would say the ads are actually pretty good because, again, simplicity, and they are getting the message across. Where they kind of fall apart a little bit is the next step when they're sending them to the landing pages. And there's like, again, congruency. I always talk about this having congruency between the ads and the landing pages. The more you can have congruency, the better. The better it's going to be. All right, so that is Typeform. Let's move over to Deel. Let's look at Deel. So Deel is a little bit similar to Gusto. They deal with international payroll. I know specifically, I used to work in a company that we were based in Israel, and it was being paid by a U.S. company. And the U.S. company sometimes, like, I know it was a little different because we had our own HR and finance department. But for, let's say, for a smaller company that doesn't have that, the international company dealing with things, it can be a real headache to deal with some local regulations, particularly if it's a U.S. company dealing with Asian or European or Middle Eastern countries that can have different regulatory compliance laws around workers, to be able to do things that are compliant and now, to be fair, I think their Israel version, I think, is very overpriced. I think it's overpriced. I don't think that this is having to be extremely complicated here, and you can find people locally who will do it. But that being said, that's just what I think of Deel. Let's take a look at that them now from an ad and a campaign perspective. So let's go down to some of their earlier running ads here. So this has been running. This is inactive, active. Okay. What is payroll tax? This guide explains the payroll tax definition. Now, tax are split between employers and employees and how they're calculated. Okay, I'll play games here. Let's see. I'm gonna click on this landing page here and see what happens. I'm gonna click Learn More, and it's gonna take me basically to a blog post. Okay, fine. Top of funnel. I get it. Cute idea. Top of funnel. If someone clicks on this ad, they can retarget them. Okay, fine. So this is a top of funnel type of content ad. I want something a bit more meaty on the conversion standpoint. It's time to win back your time with the best streamlined global HR, payroll, and compliance provider on the market. See how Paperform sees 140 days worth of HR costs annually thanks to Deel. This is a great ad, actually. Look at this. This is a case study type of ad. I want to make this bigger. What they're doing is they're okay, let's break this down here. They're talking directly right here what they do, right? They help you win back your time. That's a very benefit-driven thing, right? Streamlining global HR, payroll, and compliance, right? And that's exactly the point here. Someone who's dealing with global payroll knows exactly about issues with compliance, and they're always looking for something they can streamline it. And then they look at this right off the bat. There are specific numbers. How you can save like 104 days a year. That's almost half the year for a single person who's working. Right? There's 200 something working days a year. We're talking about basically saving almost half your time on not dealing with compliance, global compliance, and when you're dealing with payroll, right? $100,000 saved, you're tying it directly to the end result. This is actually a very, very good ad. It's very simple, and also they're doing a very like I'll point something out here on the ad creative. There's no person; it's all text, right? This is actually a very, very good way of utilizing visual imagery because you're pulling out the main point right here. Right, you got 100,000. You got a number right there, $100,000 saved in HR per year. Right, think about someone who's working in HR. This is the thing that pops out to you right off the bat. Like the eye motion goes to $100,000. Then this headline here. See how Paperform saves, and you can see they've highlighted the company names to make it much more eye catching. Now, the one thing I will knock them, and anyone who's watched these things in the past know I'm going to knock them for this, is they put their brand name in the image. If you take that off, it actually draws your eye much more towards the information that's important. I think you'll increase click-through rates just by deleting their brand name from this image. We'll save you hundreds of admin hours. Interesting. Let me think of this. Is actually an interesting headline here because we'll save you hundreds of admin hours because you got my attention here with 100K saved in HR. So I know you're talking to me if I'm an HR person. And we're talking about saving you hundreds of admin hours. This actually could be a decent headline, actually. I think this is actually a good headline because it supports the message. Because now they've hooked you in, we're talking to you. Usually what I would say for a headline like this is I would say, like, we help HR managers, right, save hundreds of admin hours, right? Like, call out the person. But you've done this already pretty well in this ad. So I actually kind of like this headline here. because you've accomplished the thing you need to accomplish, which is to call out the buyer already, right? So it's time to win back your time with the best streamlined. Listen, if I'm their customer, I'm clicking this ad. This is actually this is a 10 out of 10 ad, other than the logo. So I'll say 9 out of 10. This is a really good ad. So let's just go to their landing page here. So here they're basically going to a case study page, right? This company called Paperform. How Paperform saves 104 days worth of HR costs thanks to Deel. So now, very nice, clean page. I want to get rid of this thing. Deel features. Okay, now they're going there. Okay, fine. Let's just actually break this down. This is a pretty good page here. The company founded to bring people back to work to life. Okay, here's the story of the company. HR platform that sets Paperform up for success. Big platform, big savings, one platform. They're going to go into details about how they are building their company using employees and contractors from all over the world. The cost savings that Deel's enabled would easily go into the tens of thousands of dollars, perhaps even close to $100,000 per year. That would include cost savings from staffing, HR, insurance, legal fees for employee contracts. The only thing I would actually do is I would bullet point this. I would bullet point this because the one thing you want to do is you want to, like, this is a big promise right here. You want this thing to be able to easily scannable on your landing page. You can kind of like just pop out the things that are important. What they have is here 140 days worth of HR, but like give me bullet points and highlight this a bit more. Like again, I would bullet point this. I would make a whole separate thing just to bullet point this. Now they're going because this is your story. This is your hook and your story, and now we're going to go into the offer. Right? This is how they're like, remember how I talk about building landing pages? You need to have hook, story, and offer. So the hook is great, right? This is the hook, right? How this company says 104 days worth of HR costs, right? This is the story. They're telling the story. Story is great. Right, and now we're moving into the product, right? So I would break out the story a bit more. Oh, here we're talking about this feature here, using one-click payroll. Right, again, just make it a little bit more because people are not going to read this; they're going to scan. You want to make sure all the important information are popping out. So our bullets are a great way to do this. Create a lot more space just in your copy. That's a good way to kind of do this. So in terms of features, they're like automation. Here's a little bit more about. Oh, this is great, and then request a demo. This is actually a really good landing page. Right, because again, they don't have a big ask here. If someone's clicking this, first of all, I can now retarget someone who goes to this page, which makes the overall kind of general sales funnel even more streamlined. And in this page as well, save 51% less time onboarding global employees. Right, cut it in half. Okay, listen, I happen to notice my wife actually used to do this, and she did a great job of streamlining it for herself from the systems process. But if you tell her, she's like, man, I can cut my time off. We can double the amount of employees that we can onboard onto our global payroll system. It's great. They've got image of the product here used by 15,000 companies. Dropbox, Nike, other companies are using them. Mercury, I like Mercury. I'm a Mercury customer. And this is good. This is good. It's fine. So let's just talk a little bit about what I like and what I don't like about their ad. So in terms of the ad itself, or I should say their campaign, in terms of the ad itself, take off the headline. This is a 10 out of 10 ad because again, you can actually see this. Look how your eye flows. If this headline is not here, your eye flows down. It's like a perfect eye flow with information that I want you to do. Right now, it looks a little bit like a block of text, which kind of can deaden a little bit the information I'm trying to convey. But now I'm going to give them a 9 out of 10 on this ad. In terms of their landing page, I like this landing page. I would actually shorten this up a little bit. Maybe do a video, test a video, maybe. But I think that this section is actually fine. Again, we're telling a story. Goal of the landing page is hook, story, offers. We're hooking them in very nicely. We're telling them the story, and I would just break out the important stuff in bullet points. Again, just a lot of blocks of text on a landing page, and then you kind of move into this area where you move into one kind of feature. I would actually add one more section that kind of gives like 3 main highlights of the product here as well. Because it could be maybe if there's something about automation that's not so speaking to me, or maybe it is speaking to me, and there's 2 other things that are also like really speaking to me. I'll be much more likely to click this button to request a demo. And then once I go to the demo page, I think it's great because the way it's set up is now anyone who gets that demo page, I can retarget them. So really, really well done, I think, for Deel from their ads. Let's just take a quick look at some of the other ads, see if there's anything else to discuss. Simplify admin with 12% of creations, win back hours of your time. So they're going from very much kind of like the winning back time aspect in their ads. Easily onboard any kind of worker, run payroll, manage their entire workforce in one powerful, easy to navigate dashboard. This is actually great. Look at this. This one sentence is it's full of benefits and gives their unique selling proposition in what is this? 15 words? In 15 words, this is excellent. Win back time, hours of time with Deel HR. All right, this is actually really, really good. I'm gonna give them a 9 out of 10 on this. I think this is actually a really, really well run campaign. They're doing a great job on this. So yeah, guys. So that's this week's Teardown Tuesday. Once again, my name is Gavi, and I am the CEO and founder of FireCopy.co. I work with companies to give them basically a subscription model based agency to get continuous copy for their basically all their ad campaigns or all their copy that's going to drive revenue. So emails, ads, and landing pages on a very, very manageable subscription model. So if you have a need for something like that, feel free to reach out, and happy to talk about what your use cases and needs are. And I'll talk to you guys all later. All right, see ya. Bye.